Alright, I stayed at Nangal last night. Had a good night's stay over there. In the morning, I woke up, did some foolishness with the camera, and we were off on the road.
We're off for Una. Una is not too far off. It's about 17-18 kilometers. We'll head from there to Chintpurni, then Jwalaji, Kangra Devi. That's the plan. Again, you never know. We're midway between Nangal and Una, right? And where we're crossing right now, these are small villages, but the terrain and the way this snake road is moving, it's a very good drive. Today I don't have my tank bag or my rucksack to bother about. I found a friend who's gonna go in the same direction. Hence I've just kept everything in his car. He's like a pilot for me right now. So I'm gonna just concentrate on riding. I just have my GoPro and a couple of cameras with me, that's all. I have Dasampeta Shabads playing in the background in my earpiece. And riding on a terrain like this, it's even more liberating. The villages in Himachal, they're not very different from what we have in Punjab. This used to be Punjab territory back in the day. Himachal, Haryana, Kashmir, Punjab and Pakistan, that all used to be one big Punjab, right? And but it has now that it's been separated for so long, for decades, it has a distinct cultural flavor to it. What an apt shabad. It automatically says, this is just my playlist. I didn't select this on purpose, but the shabad playing in the background is Sada Jai, Sada Jai, Sada Jai Bhagwati. And we're visiting Ma temples, right? The Divine Punjab series, very few riders I saw, just a handful of them. I think some of them I saw a couple of them near Moga, and but when you come to Himachal, especially this trail, or for that matter the Manali trail, you see a lot of them, and makes sense too, right? Our destinations or our travel is a bit different, and I don't mean to say that because I want to stand out or in any form or way. The intention of me riding is not only looking at scenic beauty, but I also want to be utilizing that for my inner travel. I just don't want to keep it limited to an external travel. So with that being said, I do hunt for spiritual places that I can visit along the way. And these hills, Himachal is called Devbhumi, and it's not for no reason that they call it that. This reminds me so much of the ashram in Coimbatore. Surrounding that area, you have a very similar terrain, barring the vegetation. The vegetation is very different, but the terrain is very similar. Foothills. It's just that this is the Shivalik range, and those are the Valangiri hills. When you cross these houses, the local houses here, some of these houses, I think they still use wood fire cooking areas, and that distinct smell of that, I'm not sure what kind of wood they use to cook, but that distinct smell, it's the odor is visible? No, not visible, but you can smell the odor right on the road too. Alright, we seem to touch. Okay, what does it say? It says Jwalamukhi 43, Dharamshala is a 90 in total, Chintpurni 16. I think we should be able to do that fine today. The twisties in this place, I'm in love with this drive. Even though I don't have a bike that is the best in terms of leaning, but whatever small angle I can do that, it's very satisfying. I've driven on these roads on my Thar tons of times. I used to have a Polo prior to that. I've driven that a couple of times. I think I've driven my Bullet here too a couple of times though, but that was over a decade back, so I don't remember the exact feeling. But I can tell you, by far nothing compares to riding on a bike in these areas. We get cut off from nature. We're in that metal box. Right now you can feel everything, from the small little vibrations that the road has to offer, to the scenic beauty, to the temperature, the wind, everything. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Like I said for Ma Devi, Chintpurni, the way it is located right up top, just the way it should be, right? Ma watching over everybody. Wow, I need to stop here for a second. Look at the view from this place. We stopped right in the middle of the road to capture this. That's where I parked my bike over there. This is the Chintpurni Shakti Peeth, located in the lower foothills of the Shivalik range. North of Chintpurni are the western Himalayas. Chinamasta is interpreted as the severed-headed one, or as well as the four-headed one. Chinnamasta, Chinnamastika, Prachanda Chandika, Jogini Ma are some of the names given to the Devi Ma, whose sacred temple we are at right now. The long lines of bhakts here tell a tale of great devotion. When Lord Vishnu severed the burning body of Ma Sati into 51 pieces so that Lord Shiva would calm down and stop his Tandava, the pieces were scattered over various places in the Indian subcontinent, called the Shakti Peethas. It is believed that Sati's head fell at this place and is thus considered one of the most important of the 51 Shakti Peethas. She is usually shown holding her own severed head in her hand, drinking one stream of blood spurting from the arteries in her neck, while at her side are two yoginis, each of whom drink another stream of blood. Chinnamasta, the headless goddess, is the great cosmic power who helps the sincere and devoted yogi to dissolve his or her mind, including all the preconceived ideas, attachments, and habits, into the pure divine consciousness. Cutting off the head suggests the separation of the mind from the body, that is, the freedom of the consciousness from the material confines of the physical body. According to the Puranic traditions, Chinnamastika Devi will be protected by Shiva, Rudra Mahadev, in the four directions. There are four Shiva temples: Kaleshwar Mahadev in the east, Narayana Mahadev in the west, Muchkund Mahadev in the north, and Shiva Bari in the south, which are nearly equidistant from Chintapurni.